pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And take the roll, please.
Trustee Spurling.
Here.
Trustee Lee.
Here.
Trustee Hines. Trustee Youngerman.
Here.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Bond.
Here.
All right, our quorum this evening. Move on to public participation this evening. If there's any member of the public who wishes to address the board at this time. All right, hearing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. I'll run through the list and then entertain a motion to approve. Minutes of the village board meeting of October 14th, accounts payable through October 22nd, the building report for September of 2013, accounts receivable report September 2013, and then we have ordinances 1587, 1589, 1590, and 1591. And with that, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Marisak, second by Youngerman. Take the roll, please.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Bond.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
And that carries 5-0. We don't have anything for separate action this evening, so we'll move on to item 7, and that's weather warning sirens. With that, I'll ask Administrator Zolfel to kick it off.
Thank you. This is a follow-up from discussion we've previously had. There were maps in your packet. Since the last time we saw this, we've added the sirens from both Sugar Grove and Oswego to give a better picture of what's in the area. I believe we're going to look for some direction tonight on how you feel. I'll let the chief go into the options we've presented to you.
Thank you. Tonight, the 3 planning maps are in your packet. One is the current existing conditions. We've added the green and the lighter pink color in the upper left-hand corner, which is Sugar Grove. The 3 lower ones are Oswego. The discussion we had in July 22nd at the board meeting, we talked about a couple things that were recommended by you to come back. We discussed funding. We also discussed the locations to see what the coverage is when we added Oswego and also Sugar Grove. That is, just have to counterclockwise that. In your packet also is option A and B. You can see that option A and option B we added. B gives you a siren that is stronger and larger. That's the 3rd orange one that's for the village. In option A, the smaller green one is still there, which is an Oswego siren. But that was option A, was where we moved the siren from 30 and Griffin west. That one we're not recommending, and that didn't, during that discussion in July, really wasn't, after further discussion, it wasn't really an option by staff. The funding, we have 2 officers that are gone to training on writing grants. We've checked the Department of Homeland Security, FEMA, and grant.gov for funding. We have yet to find any options for any grants for this type of project. There is a funding facilities grant by the USDA that's possible for 2014-15. We will wait for notification about that grant opportunity later in 2014. I know that doesn't help today or our discussion for funding in FY15 budget process. So tonight, if we could, can you turn that clockwise or not? No. Counter? No. Okay. On the right-hand side, if you'll picture, or we can just go from your packet that you have.
There you go. The B1. keep going, Dan.
From your packet, if you would look at option B in the right-hand corner, that shows the third siren. We have discussed at staff at length. We've also talked to Fulton Technologies. That's the person who we currently have a contract to maintain our three sirens, or two sirens. They also maintain Oswego, Sugar Grove, and Kendall County sirens. They do maintenance and also prepare budgets for those sirens. If you look at option B, the coverage, although it gets heavy in the lower right-hand corner, the southwest side of our town, we believe that this is the best option. If you move our siren at the police department at 30 and Griffin West, you might open up spots that we didn't know were covered prior to. If you move that siren, we just might create a problem that's wasn't there, and now we created more problems, although we solved the problems in the southwest part of town.
That's good.
Yep.
Really
Getting there.
stand on your head.
You just keep going, people.
All right, at this time, I'd entertain some questions from the board to get direction after you're able to see the additions to that map.
The potential grant money that you're saying may be available in 2015, I have a question. If we were to do this in fiscal year 2014 and did the work, could we apply for the grant after the work was done?
Depends on the terms of the grant.
Okay.
I have kind of an easy question. The type of siren that's at the Bristol Kendall Fire Building, I know that their radius is much smaller than ours,
Yes.
and we have considerable overlap if we install our typical, which has the 1,000-foot, looks like, or 9,000 feet, sorry. Is there any cost difference in those two models? Because we do have a decent amount of overlap if we,
Yes, there is a conservative amount of cost difference. If we could pull up,
Yeah.
B1 has, if you can pull up B1, Jeff, that has, the map is with a smaller siren. Also, cost, I would think Engineer Wallers might have an answer for that difference.
Shows if we put a smaller one.
Get the cost difference.
B1 was just
We
done
had-
today. It
we
just
had-
shows a smaller siren like he was talking about right here instead of having the larger siren. So you see the smaller radius.
So I can get a cost for the lesser expensive, I think that's the T128. The models that we were using that are similar to the P50 that we have was the T135. So the next one I think that they're using in Yorkville is the T128. So we can get a cost on that and cost of installation. The pole's a little bit less robust, and we can get that cost.
So with the smaller one, we lose some of this.
In option B, what is the third proposed siren location?
It would be on the Dixon property, our village property.
are there any other questions at Chief Myers on this?
Yeah, somebody explain, if these are King County sirens going off, just for King County, and now we're getting into Sugar Grove and Oswego, Sugar Grove's still King County, but Oswego's Kendall County, if something hits in Sandwich, is Oswego's gonna go off, but not Sugar Grove's, or vice versa, or what?
Well, it actually, it's really not by county and Kane. The Village of Montgomery back in the late 90s entered into an agreement with the Village of North Aurora, City of Aurora, and the Village of Sugar Grove. So if the City of Aurora would activate the siren, our siren would get activated. So you are correct in that Kendall County will set off Oswego's. If there is something that is occurring in Sandwich and Kendall County activates their siren, yes, our residents will hear that. Those 3 sirens in the below on the green will be activated. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean the city of Aurora will activate it for us, though.
But this new siren, would we need to get some kind of an agreement so that it would activate?
We would add it to our system, so we would,
It would only go off of Aurora Church.
for us, yes.
So the Kendall County side
No,
wouldn't come into play?
No.
Even though the siren's in Kendall County?
correct.
Let me ask this, with the recent government shutdown, I think the NOAA, the National whatever it stands for, the Weather Service, it was shut down as well, wasn't it?
I can't remember. It's hard to not view that as mission critical because they feed the air traffic controllers, I think.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they were shut or not. I know all law enforcement activities continued, but I'm not sure about that.
Well, they closed down, or part of the CDC. You would think that was important as well, but
That kind of touches on the question I was going to ask. There must be, maybe in the past, Montgomery's borne the full cost of installing these devices, and I'm seeing a head nod. So there are other agencies that share some concern or responsibility about the safety of the public, not the least of which would be the weather, and but they don't participate in the cost of these at all, then.
No, they say it's the responsibility for us to do that for our residents.
My big concern is that the siren is located in Kendall County, and it's only going to be triggered by our northern border, but yet all those properties are on the southern portion that would be triggered in Kane County, or in Kendall County.
We feel it's better if all of our sirens are attached together and go off as one instead of, different parts of our town going off.
with
together.
option B,
That's as long
the
as
way
the
option
tomato
B
fits
is laid out, the 3 sirens wouldn't be connected?
Yeah, they would. That's what I'm saying, they'd all be connected, or they would go off when Aurora sets them off.
But we're talking about
And that's how,
less than a mile
I believe that's how
south.
we would want it to be.
Yeah, I see your concern, Doug, with if there's something in Sandwich and they go,
Because if it's coming from the south.
I mean, Aurora would be watching that, though, and we have an agreement with them, so I believe, even if it's not affecting them, if it's affecting,
That's correct,
Gonna
because
affect
they
us,
have
they set 'em
residents in
off.
Kendall County also, Aurora does. So they'll be watching the whole area here.
I guess I use Sandwich as an example, because I know the Sandwich goes across Elburn and that direction, and yet it's still Kendall-type county out that way. But like if it was in Oswego, I would say Aurora would probably,
No, they didn't.
would call it.
That's the reason that I bring it up.
Yeah.
Is that the last incident where the sirens went off, Oswego's went off, and Aurora's didn't. So we heard a lot of, in our community, being that we're in Kendall County, that our sirens didn't go off. And so there was some concern from residents about why would our and then they started talking about, we don't even have a siren over in that area. Now we where I live, we hear it, because right in Lakewood there, but just south of us, they don't hear it. Montgomery Crossing, they don't have a siren. So that's what this area is.
Correct.
Hey, Chief, just one clarification question,
Yes.
kind of along that. If, and I think maybe this will put the question, kind of put you more at ease, Doug. If severe weather was going to hit our southern portion of Montgomery, do we have the potential to activate our own sirens or activate them through Aurora to make sure
Correct.
that our residents are safe? So regardless of who is doing the activating, if our residents are in danger, the sirens will go off.
Yes, there's 3 ways, or actually 2 ways. If there was a spotter, a certified spotter on the southwest side, and they saw a funnel cloud, they would be able to call Aurora EMA, and they would activate it. The other one is if the National Weather Service issues a tornado warning, and there's a sighting, they'll activate it there too.
Okay. I think back to the siren, obviously, we don't have funding at the moment for this new siren, whichever model it is. So is this something that we bring up, again, at budget time? Put that kind of on our capital list of improvements that are important? Talk about in the next several months?
That's what I'd like to see.
Any additional thoughts or comments?
We should put it on the table.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I'll have that for a proposal later.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, by the way, I think I would favor the stronger alarm unless there's a big difference.
A big
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
We can present both costs when we do the budget proposal, so you can take a look at it and decide.
Can you put up the slide with the smaller one back there? Yeah, see, that siren leaves that entire area right there vacant.
On the north side of that?
Yeah, that's currently vacant property, I think.
Correct.
But
I know Trustee Lee mentioned in the July meeting that he would like to see that coverage for future.
yeah.
All right. There isn't any other comment on this. Is there any new or unfinished business to come before the board this evening? All right. Hearing none. Future board meetings, there's a village board meeting on November 12th. Note the date change due to the holiday on November 11th, and then you can see the list of meetings there. So with that, I'll entertain to go into executive session to discuss the employment of an employee pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C1.
So moved.
Moved by Youngerman.
Second?
Second by Trustee Marisak. Take the roll, please.
Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Bond.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling. Yes. Trustee Lee.
Yes.
All right. All right, I'll call the meeting back to order and entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Moved in second. Take the roll, please.
Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Bond.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling. Yes. Trustee Lee.
Yes.
And we're adjourned. Thank you.